Luma and the Bridges of Learning. Luma is a hummingbird who travels across Colombia, bringing hope wherever she goes. One day, Luma sees a family heading to the other side of the river. They are searching for a new place to call home. There, Luma discovers the PIO Center, where migrant, refugee, and indigenous children are always welcome. In these safe spaces, children make art, play music, and celebrate the beauty of their cultures. Families receive guidance and care, giving them the support they need to grow strong and healthy. In remote areas, the mobile Chiquivan comes to busy and vibrant communities. PIO centers honor local traditions, so children learn more about the world and themselves. In times of distress, they find a listening ear and a place they feel safe and cared for. Teachers and volunteers work together to build a strong community of inclusion. With each stop, Luma gathers new seeds of hope to carry in her beak. At every PIO center, a rainbow of belonging rises above the landscape. Education builds bridges, not walls.
A challenge in the 21st bilingual education. In today's interconnected world, bilingual education faces complex challenges that go beyond language acquisition. Creating inclusive, culturally relevant learning environments is essential to ensure equity, diversity, and global competence. The tale of Luma and the Bridges to Learning comes from the UNICEF's PIO centers in Cúcuta. Colombia offer a powerful example of culturally inclusive education that serve migrant, refugee, and indigenous children. Integrate art, music, and local traditions to foster belonging and learning. Provide psychosocial support and early childhood education in safe, culturally sensitive environments.
The challenge: making curriculum culturally inclusive for the future of education. In many educational systems, curricula are designed with a standardized approach that often overlooks the cultural identities, languages, and lived experiences of diverse student populations. This lack of cultural relevance can lead to student disengagement, poor academic performance, loss of cultural identity. In bilingual and multicultural environments, especially in rural or indigenous communities, this challenge is even more pronounced. As highlighted in the study by Oyarche Cruz et al. 2022, teachers in Peru's Amazon region had to redefine teaching by integrating local customs, languages, and symbolic practices to make learning meaningful during the pandemic.
During the pandemic, Peru faced major challenges in delivering education. With limited resources and technology, communities created their own teaching methods through collaboration and cultural exchange. This approach, called educommunication, focused on people, teachers, parents, and students working together to build meaning and keep learning alive.
Connection to Sustainable Development Goals. How can a curriculum culturally inclusive for the future of education connects with Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs 4 and 10? Let's see. SDG 4 talks about ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. SDG 10 is reduced inequality within and among countries. Quality education. In order to build a future-ready education system, it is essential to recognize the role of culture in shaping meaningful learning. A culturally inclusive curriculum promotes equity and empowers diverse learners. As described by Araque Torres, 2021, at the international level of action, quality stands on three fundamental principles. First, the need for education to be relevant. Second, allowing for more significant equity of access and outcomes. Third, education to ensure proper observance of individual rights. This requires a holistic understanding of such culture, continually based on the trust and involvement of multiple stakeholders. Page 13. Therefore, quality education calls for inclusive and equitable education that respects cultural diversity. Promotes lifelong learning opportunities for all, including indigenous and marginalized groups. A culturally inclusive curriculum promotes lifelong learning, critical thinking, and student engagement. Supports equity in learning outcomes by validating students' backgrounds.
Reduced inequalities. In a world shaped by technology, empathy, and cultural understanding must guide how we educate and how we build inclusive futures. In order to reduce educational inequalities, we must design systems that reflect and respect cultural diversity, emphasizes the need to eliminate disparities in access to education, supports policies that empower minority and vulnerable communities through culturally responsive education, reduces discrimination and exclusion in education, promotes social cohesion and respect for diversity.
Relation with other Sustainable Development Goals. Peace, justice, and strong institutions. Sustainable Development Goal 16. A culturally inclusive curriculum promotes peaceful and inclusive societies by fostering respect for diversity and intercultural dialogue. It helps reduce discrimination and prejudice in education, which are often root causes of social conflict. By integrating cultural perspectives and Indigenous knowledge, schools become spaces that uphold justice and equity, strengthening trust in educational institutions. This alignment ensures that education is not only about academic achievement, but also about building social cohesion and sustainable peace through mutual understanding and respect.
And remember, reimagining curriculum is not just an academic task, it is a social responsibility.